Hey lovelies, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in today's video we're going to learn how to make this beautiful Bubu gown, and if that's what you're interested in, please stay tuned and watch till the end of this video. Thank you. Starting off, I already folded my fabric into 4 and now I'm just marking out my sleeve length. So whatever you are using as your sleeve length, you are going to minus 2 inches from that because of the Asoke you'll be adding for the band. Now I'll mark that, I'll indicate that point, and I'll come down by 1.5 inch for my shoulder slope. Now at the folded edge, I'll go in by my neck width and I'll connect my 1.5 inches that I came down by from my shoulder slope to my neck width. Coming back to my sleeve length, I'll go down by 10 inches because my client is more on the slimmer side. That's I'm using 9 inches for the wideness and 1 inch for allowance. Now what I'm doing here is just making sure that my sleeve length is the same with the top part, and I'll connect with a straight line. After that, I'll go to my folded edge and I'll mark out 1 inch for my neck depth, and I'll connect that back to my neck width. Now at the folded edge, I'll mark out my front length and I'll use a broken line to indicate, and I'll come down to my hip line and I'll use a broken line to also indicate. At my front length line, I'm going to mark out my bust circumference divided by 4 plus 2.5 inches, and I'll indicate from there and I'll connect to my sleeve with a slight curve. After that, at my hip line, I'll mark out my hip circumference divided by 4 plus 2.5 inches, and I'll connect that to my front length line. I'll just continue that same measurement all the way down to my hem of my gown, and I'll connect with a straight line. I'll go ahead to cut everything out. After that, you are going to separate your fabric so that we'll focus on the front parts. After that, coming to the folded edge of your front fabric, you are going to mark out your chest line and you indicate with a chalk, and after that you come in by 2 inches and you mark that 2 inches down to the hem of your gown. Now our band is actually 6 inches wide, so we'll be taking off 0.5 inch on both sides, which is going to leave us with 5 inches. Now taking off these 2 inches all the way down, because our fabric is on fold, when you open up 2 inches it's going to give you 4 inches, and we're also going to sew off 0.5 inch on both sides of the gown, and that's going to make up for the 5 inches of our band. Now I'll connect from that 2 inches at my chest line down to my neck width. Following the 2 inches, I'm just going to cut off that part all the way down to my neck width. Now you take out your back piece and you are going to measure out what you have at the neck part, and you write that down. For mine is 3.75, and you just jot that down because you'll be needing it later on. After that, you go ahead and open up your fabric and you place the front piece on top of the back piece, right sides facing each other, and you go ahead and join the shoulders if you are just sewing with the plain fabric. But for me, I'll be using a lining piece, so I'll just go ahead and cut off my lining pieces off camera, and I'll come back to show you what I'm saying. I've gone ahead to join my lining pieces to my fabric, and now I'll place it right sides facing each other, and I'll go ahead and join my shoulders. After that, I'll attach my Asoke band, and I'll sew my side seams with 1 inch all the way down to the hemline, and I'll do the same for the other side. Now you will take your Asoke of choice and you fold it equally. So after folding it equally, you come to the folded edge and you mark out your neck measurement plus your chest line measurement. Now you remember that neck measurement I told you to jot down. You are going to plus it with your chest line measurement, and you will mark that out and indicate with a chalk. When you get to that point, for mine is 12 inches, and after that I'll find the midpoint of my Asoke and I'll also indicate with a chalk. I'll go back to the folded edge and I'll mark out my knee length. You can either choose to come up from your knee length by 2 inches or go down from your knee length by 2 inches for your slit. Now when I get to my knee length, I'll also indicate with a chalk. Now I'll go ahead and mark out the midpoint all the way down to my knee length, and I'll connect with a straight stitch. After running a straight stitch all the way to your knee length, you are going to open up your Asoke like this. After doing that, you keep that aside. Now you take out your fabric and you are going to fold it to get the midpoint of the back, and you will indicate with a notch. After that, you take out your Asoke and you find the middle of the neckline, and you are going to put that middle of your Asoke at the middle of your fabric that you notched, and you are going to run it with 1/2 inch, which is 0.5 inch, all the way down to the hem line. Now you see the way I'm placing it. You are just going to do that all the way down to the hem line, and when you are done with that, you come back to the middle of the neck and you will do the same for the other side all the way down. You will be leaving out 1 inch at the hem line, and I'll show you why. Now after sewing that, this is what you are going to be left with. So because I already turned in my hem line, I'm going to show you how to fold in your Asoke. Now you get to that point, that 1 inch you went in by, and you see the opening at your Asoke. You are going to push all the excess inwards. You fold it neatly, then you run it to your hemline completely. After running to your hemline, you flip it over, and at the end of the Asoke, you are going to run a straight stitch, so that edge of your Asoke is going to be neat. Now for the buttons, you come to the center of your Asoke. One is going to be at that top part. Now you are going to mark 2.5 inches spacing. So you mark 2.5 inches, 2.5 inches to the number of buttons that you have.